Hello everyone, it's Frank again with another ATV video. Today we're replacing a broken shifter lever on the Can-Am. A lot of you have probably heard about the Can-Am hump, and some of you have maybe even experienced the hard shifting on Can-Ams, which they're pretty much notorious for. This hard shifting puts a lot of stress on the shifting linkage, which causes some parts to break sometimes, such as the shift lever. The shift lever is where the gearbox connects to the bar that runs all the way to your shifter. Mine ended up bending so far out of shape that it eventually just snapped. So I went online and ordered a new one and began to remove the old broken one. As you can see, the shifter lever is only held on by one bolt and one nut that can be easily removed with a simple hand tool. After that, all you have to do is kind of wiggle off the actual lever, which on an ATV that's covered in dirt and mud is not as easy as it sounds. As you can see, mine was in pretty bad shape. Normally the shifter lever is just one part, but mine snapped in half. That's why you see that I was able to remove part of it and I'm still removing the other side. Normally these two pieces are connected to each other in just one continuous piece. But again, this side of it, all you need is a wrench, socket, simple hand tools, and you can take it right out. Here you can see how it broke, pretty much right at the bottom of it. Most likely because it was so hard to shift it and I kept putting too much force on it, eventually just snapped. And now I'm putting them side by side with the new one so you can see what it's supposed to look like. But enough of that old broken shifter, it's time to put in the new one. Installing the new one, it's basically just a reverse of removing the old one. Not very complicated at all. The main things you want to avoid are putting in the shifter lever backwards, in which case it won't fit in, or the big one, which I did, making sure the actual shifter is set to the right gear where you put the lever. You'll see that later in the video. Just like it was a little hard to get the shifter lever out, it was a little hard to get the shifter lever in, so I ended up using a screwdriver and a hammer to kind of just tap it into place. It eventually sat in its spot. At this point, I probably should have checked what gear my ATV was actually in to make sure it matched with where I put the lever, because it didn't. It was completely off. And I didn't notice until after I put in this bolt and nut, in which case I had to remove it again later on to reset the lever. Overall, it was a pretty simple fix. The shifting does seem to be better now. Probably not perfect, but it's still much better than it was before I broke the shifter lever. I'm assuming the shifter lever was probably bending and flexing since I got it, and that is why the shifting was so bad at that time. Now, will this fix everybody's Can-Am's shifting woes? Most likely not. You have to look at that lever and see if it's bent like mine was, or if it's about to snap like mine was. For most people, that's probably not the case. It's probably just the shifting is kind of rough on Can-Ams. As always, if you guys like this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below, and thanks for watching.